2002 Chevy Impala, 3.4 liter engine. The thermostat is buried, so I'm going to show you how to get to it in a better video than my last one. So what you need to do is you need to unclip the air filter here and here with a screwdriver. Take this clip off first, take this clip off too. There's a little tab, pull those two clips off, get this out of the way. I'll show you how that's done. That clip just pulled out of there near the air cleaner, and this one pulled out of there. Now we can pull this out of the throttle on this side and on the other side. Let's see if we can get that out. And over by the air filter, I just kind of used a screwdriver, then pulled this other side up, and this will come right out, this air filter hose. So you can see we pulled the air filter up now. There's the throttle body. Thermostat's still here. Before you do this step, you might want to drain the radiator. At the bottom there's a petcock where you can empty this so the coolant won't spill out while you're doing this job. Next thing you got to do is come to the front of the engine here where the spark plug wires are attached to this black coolant line. Use a screwdriver to unsnap this, and the spark plug wires will pull out of that plastic snap. And to do that, I just stuck my screwdriver in here, pulled this back, that pulled out. Now the wires will come right out of there and off of this coolant line. Now what you want to do is follow this black line over here to the left. You see this tower. The coolant is hooked to this tower. What you want to do with this tower is get a 5/16 inch socket and hit this bolt right here and unscrew that. Now be careful because there's a gasket down here, so you want to be careful when you unloosen that. You don't pull that gasket or break it, just be gentle. Also when that bolt is off, tap it slightly with a hammer or a mallet so that it will break free slightly, but again, be gentle. Now this will break loose and you can pull it up a little bit to get some slack on this black coolant line. Follow this coolant line all the way around and way back in here under the thermostat there's a bracket, a 13mm bolt. On this bracket you need to get your ratchet socket wrench in there and loosen that bracket. That will give you some slack and you'll be able to get these coolant rubber lines off. There's two of them, one there, one on the other side. So you see I've got the 13mm socket wrench underneath of the air filter hose, just kind of underneath the throttle body, and you need to get that loosened. Again, that'll give you a little bit of slack on this coolant line, and you'll be able to carefully pry this this rubber coolant line out of the way. It's got some little tabs here, but you should be able to pry those off with a screwdriver, both of them. Now you can get to the thermostat. You want to take these 10mm bolts on top off first. This protective metal piece is in the way. Loosen those 10mm bolts first. Now you've got two bolts on your throttle body, 13mm. One is right there. You'll be able to get that a lot easier with this black plastic piece out of the way. Hit that one first. Okay, so there's the first throttle bolt. The second throttle bolt is actually under here. I'm not taking stuff apart, but when you take this metal bracket bolt off or the coolant line, underneath of it there's another bolt which holds this throttle body on, and you're going to need a deep socket wrench for that because that's in deep. You don't really have to take that all the way off because it's kind of it wiggles off before you take it all the way off, so you may not need to take that one all the way off if you don't want to, but the throttle body should just pull off with that So that'll get the throttle body off. And when you get this throttle off, be careful, there's another gasket on the engine side, so be careful pulling that off slowly so you don't break the gasket. You just have to get a new one and pry the old one off. Get all the stickies off. Shouldn't have to. Should be able to reuse the old gasket if you're careful. And I mistakenly said that this second throttle body bolt will just halfway loosen off. That's wrong. Take the whole thing off. Then maybe hit this slightly with a hammer so the throttle body comes off after you get both of those off. Or both of those bolts off. Now you will be to the thermostat. There's one 13mm thermostat bolt on top. One on the bottom. You may need a wrench to get to. It's down there, and that one doesn't need to come all the way off. You can just use a wrench. Maybe get way down under here to reach it with a long socket wrench, and it should come off before you untighten it all the way. It's just a self-fitting, don't know what you call it, but it slides into place with only one bolt out and one bolt half loosened. Take the old thermostat out, make sure of which way it was in there. Put the new one in the same place. Scrape the old gasket off first, really good with a knife. Scrape it off, put the new gasket on, whatever other instructions there are. And then put everything back together. And finally, when you're getting that second thermostat bolt out, way down in there, if you have a long wrench from underneath, you may have to move one more electrical assembly or something out of the way, based on how good you are. But it's just I think it's just a snap, and you snap it back in when you're done. That's all.